Welcome to Talk Dragon Ball, where I want to talk to you about anything, you guessed it, Dragon Ball. From Ball to Z, and everything in between. I'm your host Kyokai1994, and recently I've been thinking with Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Kai the final chapters, and the English dub of Dragon Ball Super coming on every week, plus the mangas that are being produced, we are flooded with all this new Dragon Ball content. But why? Why has there been so much content flowing our ways? Today, I want to talk to you about why I think so much content has been being created, and I have a feeling a lot of people are going to disagree, but I think we need to be thankful for whatever started all of this new Dragon Ball content. So for the past few years, we've had an influx of Dragon Ball content. It is the new age of the Dragon Ball fandom. In the old days, we saw the airing episodes each week and talked with friends and played the games, but now, with the medium of YouTube, we can make videos and talk to loads of people around the world on the subject of Dragon Ball, and report the news of the franchise. With the internet, we are now connected to the series straight from Japan minutes after anything has come out. It's a marvelous time to be alive if you're a Dragon Ball fan. Finding out the new Dragon Ball news and footage was something that was very hard to obtain back in the day with the internet that we had. Since about 2014, we have just been bombarded with so much new content, which is fantastic, but why did that happen? Before then, for a few years, we had not been given too much new content. Yes, we had Dragon Ball Kai to fill the void, but other than that, Dragon Ball Z had been finished since 2003. Yes, we had reruns and games and movies to hold us up for a while, but in Japan, 1997 was the last real amount of Dragon Ball anime that came out, with the completion of Dragon Ball GT. I think I can trace this rise and all this content back to one reason, and all my signs happen to trace back to Dragon Ball Evolution. Dragon Ball Evolution is a very unpopular 2009 live-action adaptation of the Dragon Ball franchise produced by Fox. Fox first approached Stephen Chow in 2002 to make a Dragon Ball movie, and he declined the offer. After years of searching for a director and several script drafts, there was a worry that too much time had passed. They decided to not waste the money that they had spent acquiring the rights, and now their goal was to make the greatest live-action anime adaptation of all time. When released, the movie fell far from the hopes, and it disappointed and angered a majority of the fandom, myself included. The movie earned a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it at least beat another unnamed live-action anime adaptation. Ben Ramsey is the writer of the script, and James Wong was the director. Dragon Ball Evolution was their interpretation of the Dragon Ball world, and most will agree that their film was wrong to the Dragon Ball franchise. Some will say, well, Toriyama is credited as a producer on the film, he must have signed off and it must be up to his likings. To that, I just want to say, even though Toriyama's name is on the film, his ideas for improvement went unheard and were thrown to the side as shown in his words in an interview with him that you can read the full translation of at Kanzenshu.com. It will be linked down in the description. The same year that Dragon Ball Evolution was released, it also happened to be Dragon Ball franchise's 25th anniversary. And to celebrate it, they were releasing a redub and animation fix of the Z portion called Dragon Ball Kai. After its end in 2014, most thought there was nothing new to come. But they were wrong. Toriyama's frustration and disapproval towards the live-action adaptation that had been put out put a thought in his head, that no new movie had been made in 17 years. So, Toriyama reread his masterpiece and put his pen back to the paper to put on the ideas that turned into Battle of the Gods, and from there, Resurrection F and Super followed. Even though I'm not a fan of the movie, maybe we can look upon it as something that happened in another dimension of the franchise. We do have to admire the writer for apologizing and admitting that he did it for financial gain and not the love of the franchise. You can read his words and apology from Derek Padula's interview with the writer Ben Ramsey on his website, The Tao of Dragon Ball, which I will leave a link into the description below. I do agree that Dragon Ball Evolution was a bad adaptation of the series, but over the last few years I have come to thank it for being just so bad. It made sure my favorite franchise lived on. It influenced the original creator Akira Toriyama to make new content, and a new series, and hire Toritaro to create a new manga for me to enjoy. For that, I have to truly be thankful. And since then, a better showing of live-action Dragon Ball has been released, not as a Hollywood project, but to the internet. A project called Dragon Ball Z Light of Hope has been started, and now, maybe it can be the inspiration or the spark of hope for a better live-action Hollywood Dragon Ball movie in the future. As of 2017, Shueisha has announced that it made a Dragon Ball room, a whole team dedicated to creating many new mangas and one-shots, all based in continuing the Dragon Ball universe. So, they have no plans of stopping any of the new content anytime soon. I hope you enjoyed the video today, guys, and if you liked it, remember to hit the like button. I want you to let me know your thoughts on both Ben Ramsey's apology and the movie Dragon Ball Evolution itself. Don't forget to subscribe for more great content in the future, and I wish you all a great day. I'll see you next time on Talk Dragon Ball.